What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2 in a devastating blow today. I thought we started the game well, to be honest. I really did. I thought we were the ones in control. We were creating chances. We had about 10 shots in that first opening 25 minutes alone. So you really thought Tottenham were going to go and strut their stuff today. But a mishap happens with Hugo Lloris and Callum Wilson, and Wilson gets the goal. And it was a shocking end of the first half. We go into the half 2-0, and quite deservedly so, because Newcastle completely peppered us from when we went 1-0 down. And you can see the mentality, heads started to drop, and it's not good enough for the end of that first half. But first of all, on the decision not to give the free kick to Tottenham and for the goal to be awarded to Newcastle for that Hugo Lloris and Callum Wilson coming together, what did you make out of that?
I think Hugo made a bit of a meal of it. I'm not 100% sure it's a foul. Wilson couldn't really go anywhere, and then Hugo had that bit of a delayed reaction, kind of falling over. If he'd kind of gone straight away, then it could have been a different story. But yeah, I think the other thing was Dyer wasn't backtracking, and he was just dire. It was just very, very, very poor. And then obviously one brings two. And again, Almiron just skins Longley, completely skins him, and then they're 2-0 up, and we just look absolutely clueless.
Yeah, absolutely. We looked very clueless for those last 20 minutes of the first half from when we did concede. Lloris makes a bit of another gaff with it, doesn't he, with a poor distribution. Sessegnon makes a meal out of it, and then what's his name? Almiron gets the ball and completely skins Longley, like you say. Completely skinned him. Second half comes. You thought maybe we'll show a bit of urgency, and I thought we did get better a little bit, but I think it took us a bit of time to get into that second half. I thought we looked a lot better when Lucas Moura came on. I thought he definitely added something to that midfield, that attack. But ultimately, we didn't really do enough. But it was always going to be difficult in that second half. 2-0 down against the best defence in the league so far. I mean, we were fighting a losing battle, really, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats. We had the most possession, 52%, the most shots, 17. How many games this season have we been in that position? And if I'm honest, it was probably a fairly even game, and just those two Hugo Lloris mistakes were the difference, I think. And I was disappointed. We got the goal, and I thought we would then kick on, but like you said, Moura came on. He looked good. He had a lot more time than he previously had all season, but we just couldn't kick on. And I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. We were waiting. We were at home. Look, you could have maybe understood if we were playing away and we didn't kick on, but we were at home. We haven't lost since April, and get that goal, you think, right, we're going to get the second. It's going to be a humdinger. But it just kind of petered out in the end.
Some shocking performances out there on the pitch. I thought Eric Dyer was really shaky today. His distribution at times he did make a few good passes, but all in all, I thought it was terrible. Davinson Sanchez frightened me every time he got on the ball today. I mean, he just looked so nervous and so uncomfortable on the ball. You just can't achieve what we want to achieve with these kind of players in the team, to be honest. I thought Longley as well got completely skinned for that goal, but he did get the assist for our goal, so I guess they cancel each other out. In terms of the midfield, I thought Bentancur started the game really well.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was going to go on to have a really good performance, but I thought he let us down a bit at times today. Bissouma, a bit of a Jacqueline Hyde performance. Skippy, I thought Skippy was all right today. Not as good as maybe he was last year, but definitely one of the better players in our team today was Oliver Skipp. Sessegnon, really poor today in my opinion. Emerson, great defensively, but nothing going forward once again. And you got the two strikers who tried their best, but they just couldn't do it alone. And ultimately, that's what the story was of the day. I mean, was there anyone that impressed you on the pitch today?
Well, they were better than Wednesday. So, look. I mean, towards the end, Emerson, there was a couple of passes he put awry, and he made that stupid challenge that gave away the free kick. But I don't want to hear people blasting Emerson, because actually he didn't play that badly. but like you said, I think these players just aren't good enough.
Who was our best player today?
Bentancur, maybe. I can't see anyone else really that, you know. I mean, Newcastle's best player, I think, was the ref. But that aside, you know, they time wasted. They did what they did at Liverpool. They spent a lot of time on the floor. But yeah, aside of that, I mean, Bentancur was probably our best player today.
I'd agree with that, but the thing is, I would agree with that. But the thing is, with Bentancur, he started the game so well, like literally so well. He just couldn't keep that up for the majority of the game. But I do think that you'll probably say he was our best player today. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else that, you know, obviously be interested to see how bad those knocks are, because now, you know, we're on we're on a run of two games of two losing games going into Wednesday.
Big games as well.
And they were big games. Two massive games. We've lost both of them. We keep saying about having a reaction. We keep saying about what we need for Wednesday. Well, if Romero and Højbjerg don't come through and their knocks are a little bit more serious than first said, well, it's starting to unravel quite quickly.
Yeah, let's hope that we can get it together quite quickly. Next game is Bournemouth away. They've obviously had a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde season. They've sacked their manager. They've looked a lot better since they've sacked their manager. But they've just had their first loss under their manager, so we'll see what happens there. But before that, we've got a very important game in the Champions League, and we have to win that game. You know, if we win that game, that puts us in an extremely good position in the group in terms of finishing top. I think if we draw, we're through, aren't we? Is that right?
No, I think we could still. It depends on other. We need to win. If we win and the results go our way, then we will. Then we'll go through.
I think if we win, regardless of other results, we're through.
We'll go through, but not. We want to go through as group winners, don't we? So yeah, if we win, we'll go through. But it depends as group winners or not. And obviously, if we don't go as group winners, then it's the Bayern Munich's, the Real Madrid's, and everything, and the Paris Saint-Germain. So those terrible teams that we'd have to try and play. So yeah, I mean it's been a tough week for Spurs. We saw a reaction, obviously, after the Brighton game. We saw that reaction that we expected, and we expected to kick on, but there's just something that's not right at the moment. But
the thing is, right, we've been saying this all season. There's something not right. We're not playing great, but we're getting results, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's going to catch up with us." You can't keep playing like this and getting the results week in, week out. You're going to get found out at one stage. Are we seeing that now?
Yeah, I think we are. I think we really are. I think we hadn't, like we said at the top of the show, Newcastle's probably the biggest game that we've played at home all season. We failed that test. Okay, we went away to Chelsea, got absolutely battered, got away with a draw. Controversially, obviously, Romero having a good tug on Cucurella's hair. So, and all the other games went to Arsenal, went to United, or all of the top six going to the top six and not taking points off. It's only us at Chelsea and Man United yesterday getting that point at Chelsea. Every other team that's gone there has lost. So to put that in perspective, it's not as bad. So we sit there and go, we always, we never turn up against the top six. No one in the top six is turning up against top. Liverpool beat City and then they lose to Nottingham Forest. So that just goes to show kind of there are some surprises, there are some shocks, but I do think we're starting to see, as we're getting closer and closer to this World Cup, I also think that players are worried about, leaving their foot in, making that tackle, putting that extra effort in because they don't want to miss the World Cup because we're so close.
And you know what? That's a disgrace if that is true, because you've got to concentrate on what's ahead of you first, and the World Cup will come later. But it's hard to take 2 defeats in a row. But I guess we just got to dust ourselves off, move on, and concentrate on what's to come. Because we can't sit here, start feeling sorry for ourselves, because we'll just let that, in that sense, it will just continue to fester. We'll lose even more games and we won't get back on track. We need to just dust ourselves off, forget about what's happened in the past and move on. because it's a long season ahead. It's still very early on.
Yeah, 100%. And there's going to be the meltdowns. There's going to be Conte out. Everyone's going to go in on each other. And look, we just, like you say, I think we just need to just focus. It's done now.
How much blame do you put on Conte for today?
Well, he changed it a lot earlier. Mora came on in the 60th minute. So tried to change it. Is it back? Is it down to the? It's still down to the players aren't good enough. That back line, like you said earlier, Ben. Only Romero probably gets in the top 10. Of the top 10, top 7, top 6, 7 teams. It's
just look at Newcastle, for instance, right? Does Emerson get in their team? No, Trippier's better. Does Dyer get in their team? No, Botman's probably better.
Yep.
Fine, Romero probably gets there ahead of Shah. And their left back, who was their left back today? It was Dan Burn.
Burn, yeah.
Look, Dan Burn probably wouldn't play wing back for us, but he'll definitely probably sort in at left centre back for sure. So that tells you everything you need to know. Newcastle haven't even started spending their money properly yet.
Yeah, and you look at the midfielders, Guimaraes and Almiron, Bentancur and Højbjerg getting in ahead of them. Don't know.
Guimaraes gets in our team.
Yeah.
Almiron probably gets a lot of minutes in our team right now. So it's hard. It's hard to take. It really is. But like I said before, long season left to go. This time last season, there was no chance we thought we'd finish in the top 4, and we ended up finishing in the top 4. So let's just keep the faith. Let's keep backing the team, and hopefully better results and better performances will come. That's all I can say. But looking forward to speaking to you guys on the fan show in a bit. But we'll see you all very soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,
you Spurs.